All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. Your buddy CJ here. And tonight, we're talking about all things automotive industry. We're talking about car guy stuff. We're talking about gearhead stuff, real gearhead talk. This is the place to be. Cars. We talk about all that stuff that the automotive enthusiast is most interested in, and you are all welcome here. Please give me a like and subscribe. Please leave those comments. As you guys know, I respond to all the comments I can. I love you guys. I really do love you guys. I'm so grateful that you're all here. Oh, touches my heart. All the fun we're having on this channel with these episodes. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. A lot of you have left me some amazing feedback. Thank you so much. We're going to keep going. Tonight, the excitement is electric. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Big excitement tonight. What are we talking about? A strange new creature has emerged from the ocean, people. And it is the E-Ray. Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. The big news is that the E-Rays are now running off of the assembly line. The E-Rays are coming off the assembly line. Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray is here. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the E-Ray is, what it isn't. I think there's some important big facts, how it compares to a Z06 and maybe a Stingray. And then your buddy CJ is going to give it to you straight, real talk. You know, on Hot Seat Automotive Podcast, we got real talk, real gearhead talk. This is where it happens, right? And I'm going to tell you what I think about this new Corvette. Would I buy one? Would I not buy one? How do I think it compares to Stingray versus Z06 and some of the options out there in the market? Guys, first things first, what an exciting time in our hobby. Stop complaining. Message goes out to those of you who are complaining about things going on in the automotive industry. Look, electric vehicles, EV is here, whatever, but this is an important moment. Right now in the automotive industry, we got new Corvettes coming out. I just checked out the Lotus Emira. I got a whole episode on that. Go ahead and check that out. Lotus Emira is coming. Very cool, Mario Kart race car for the road. Cool new Mustangs coming out. We got a dark horse. We got another cool, some sort of Cobra or GT something going to be coming out. Make the best of it. Mercedes has the newer SLs. There's some cool Porsches being produced. Like, stop it. Yeah, okay, goodbye Camaro for now. Goodbye Hemis and Hellcats for now. But just enjoy the moment, because in 10 years we will probably not have this moment. So enjoy the moment, car guys. Be happy. Tonight we are going to rejoice in all things internal combustion engine combined with cool new tech and hybrid drives with the Chevy Corvette E-Ray. Are you kidding me? So let's get into this and let's have fun. Leave me comments. Let me know what you think about this new E-Ray, and we're about to check it out. And as you know, here on Hot Seat Automotive Podcast, we look at these things together. This is right off the Chevrolet Corvette website. Check it out, people. Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. You guys know what this is? You know what this is? This is the first all-wheel drive Corvette. Okay? We're talking about the same V8 internal combustion engine out back, the mid-engine, as they're putting in the Stingray, with about 500 horsepower, plus or minus, okay? But the action is what's up front. You've got an electric motor powering the front wheels, giving you a combined 655 horsepower combined, okay? It gives you 2.5 seconds, 0 to 60. Boy, is that quick. That is so lightning fast, guys. I always say, real talk, I'll give it to you straight. I've driven some of the fastest, quickest cars you can imagine. I've been afforded that ability, and I'm so grateful. I've worked really hard for it, but I only share that to the up-and-coming next generation. Like, if you want to avail yourself to super cool cars, you can do it. Just work hard. And what I want to tell you is, back on track here, anything under 3.5 seconds, 0 to 60 is ridiculous. Okay, when you get close to 2 seconds, it's like, Star Wars, Star Trek, warp speed fast. But this car at 2.5 seconds, you're going to be faster than any other Corvette, right, that I can think of, that I'm aware of. Leave me comments. I know in my Stingray Z51, I've done like 2.8, 2.7, 0 to 60, and I've been in the low 11s on my best day on a quarter mile, actually timed on a quarter mile, mid to lower 11s. This thing's a second quicker in the quarter mile. This thing is a 10.5 second car out of the factory. Mind equals blown. Mind equals blown. Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. This thing is quick. This thing is fast. Any way you measure it. Now, if you want to go EV only mode, you can only get about 3 to 4 miles. It's whisper mode. It's sneaking up on you. Bzzz, here comes the E-Ray. It's going to shock you. Sneaking up out of the ocean. It's not a Stingray. It's an E-Ray. Oh, God, we got to have fun. Come on, guys. Have fun with me. But in all seriousness, 3 to 4 miles range in true EV mode. This is not a plug-in hybrid. You do not plug in this car. Okay, batteries are included, but you don't plug it into the garage at night. This thing charges itself either through regenerative braking, or there is a mode where if you want it to recharge the electric drive system faster, apparently you can pull engine charge, from the engine-powered alternator electrical system. You can charge this thing faster in addition to the regenerative braking. That's my understanding of it, okay? Vehicle comes standard with MagRide. Vehicle comes standard with carbon ceramic brakes. There's a lot to this car. The list goes on. By the way, that battery, those cells are sort of right in between. If you look at the drawings on the website and the exploded view, as they call it, that electrical, the electric cells, the batteries are sort of right between you and the passenger. Think of it as like, where a drive shaft would be, you got a battery, because the drive for the rear wheels is all out back with your internal combustion engine, big V8 hanging out back. Okay. Couple other things. 8-year, 100,000 mile on the electrical system. 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty, I should say, which I think is interesting. You're getting about 160 horsepower up front and 125 foot-pounds of torque up front to the front wheels. Okay, so that's where you get your combined 655 horsepower total. Chevy is billing this as an American hybrid hypercar. Now, how you define hypercar is your own business. I have my own definition. This is not it. I'm not a hater of American cars. I'm a proponent. I've owned many, many, many over the years, including I have a C8 sitting in my garage right now, a Stingray. I love it. It's one of my favorite cars that I've owned. And I've owned tons of Corvettes, Mustangs, Challengers, everything. Everything. Almost everything. And I've driven everything else, almost. Now, not everything. You know me. But these are great cars in any trim. But this thing, I've heard comparisons between this and the Grand Sport. And I think that's kind of an interesting but kind of a funny comparison, because Grand Sport was never hybrid, people. Stop it. Okay, maybe they're not making a Grand Sport to my knowledge, but this thing's different. This is different. This is a hybrid all-wheel drive Corvette. Stop comparing it to the Grand Sport. That's kind of weird. It's just something different. It's in another bucket, in my opinion, in a class by itself. I see the analogy. I hear you, people. Maybe even GM said that. I don't know. But I'm telling you, to me, this is something different. Okay. I want to tell you that it also gets 16 to 24 miles per gallon, similar to the Stingray. And it does better from a mileage standpoint than the Z06. Big surprise there, right? Z06 being the track beast, the high performance, aggressive, super aggressive, intense, harsh monster. This thing's a bit more, although it's ridiculously fast, ridiculously quick, you've got more creature comfort and probably a bit better suited for daily driving and road trips. Just my opinion, even though you're still the coolest kid on the block with the Z06, hands down. Z06 is coolest and ridiculous track performance in sort of an intense vehicle, and, a harsh, aggressive, track-oriented Corvette. This is something different. This is for someone who wants high tech, and I would say E-Ray to me falls in a position for someone who does not want a Stingray. Stingray's played out. I hear you. Stingray is mass produced, even though I consider them to be really great Corvettes, and I think anyone who owns one probably agrees. If you want to go C8 and you want something better, stronger, faster, you could either A, go Z06, which are still in high demand. I got a whole episode dedicated to the Z06, as you guys know. Or you could go with an E-Ray that are just hitting the streets. We'll see how the demand goes for these. We'll see what premium they are or not going to command. Going to be very interesting. Okay. But again, I would say this is for the guy or the automotive enthusiast who wants higher tech with creature comforts and ridiculous performance, suitable and comfortable for a road trip. Now, let's look at something else together, guys. You ready? Because this is always important to consider. You know, if we ain't talking about money, what are we talking about? Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. We talk about all these cool things, including price point. Here's the lineup right off of the Chevrolet website. And I wanted to look at this with you guys because, as you know, we enjoy looking at and talking about these things. Leave me your comments. What do you think about the E-Ray? E-Ray versus Z06. Who you rocking with? E-Ray or Z06? Which one you going with? I want to hear from you. Leave me comments. 1LZ Coupe. Now, these cars come, they come with the heads-up display, carbon ceramic brakes, even in 1LZ trim, which is different from like traditional Corvette coupes or even the C8 Stingray. If you go with the 1LT, you're not that it's bare bones per se, because it's still a nice car with good, it's still well equipped. But for example, you don't have the heads-up display in a Corvette Stingray 1LT. You don't have carbon ceramic brakes. This thing does. Now look at the price point. $105,000 to get in. You're not going to find one at $105,000. Be real. Unless you specifically spec it to be bottom of the barrel, bare bones, you're not going to find one at that. And if you go to spec yours is going to be more than that. So I would say, based on my experience, add $25K to any of these. Like in the options that you want, you're probably going to be adding. Are you going to add 10K? Or are you going to add 15K, 20K? I would say, for me, would probably be 15 to 25K. So this very quickly becomes $130,000, $150,000 vehicle. Okay? There's a 2LZ with some additional options, and then you fully goose it out with the GT2 seats and all those other nice amenities and trim features in the 3LZ. So, Stingray, if you were going to go Stingray, you'd probably be at, with options, you're probably looking at 80 to 90 to get one with the options that you want. You could spend more, but let's say 80 to 90 is the sweet spot. You're stepping up here. With options, you're looking at 115 to 150, I would say. And for the Z06, more than that. So we're actually jumping brackets in my experience with cars. We're with this platform, kind of like a Porsche 911. If I could compare this to a Porsche 911 for a moment, Porsche guys, don't get offended. Come on, get real. Chill out, everybody. Have some fun, car guys. If I could compare, Porsche 911, that same platform, you could be the $100 to $140,000, $100 to $140,000, or you could go 180 to 250, special edition, GT3 RS. What are you looking at? 300K to $500,000? Like, forget about it. It's not that extreme with the Corvette, but you're jumping brackets. Like, I could be less than 100K for one of these, a new Stingray, or I could be, looking at 130 to 160, 170K for an E-Ray to a Z06. So these are not inexpensive cars. That's a bit about the pricing, guys. I want to look at this thing together because that's what we do on Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. We look at cars together. I want to look at the styling again with you. And guys, here it is once again. What are we looking at here? Corvette E-Ray has arrived, rolling off the assembly line in Bowling Green, Kentucky. These things are going to be hitting the streets. Look for the E-Ray. The E-Ray is going to strike. The electrified hybrid drive, 655 combined horsepower, Chevrolet Corvette E-Ray. Now, you're not going to get it cheap, and they're going to be constrained for a while, but these things are hitting the street. I like the styling. I think, it's almost, I was looking at this thing earlier today, guys. Tell me what you think. Leave me comments. But there's almost a chunkiness, a richness, a fullness to the styling that I really like in the E-Ray. I like the Stingrays. I thought the Z06 was a huge enhancement in terms of aggression, if you will, in the styling. This is kind of, different. I'm not going to say it's more aggressive because I don't find the E-Ray to be more aggressive in appearance than the Z06. I find it to be more fulsome, if that makes sense. There's just a fullness to this car. Okay, I love the lines of this car. I love what they did with it. This is the high-tech road trip, higher performance car. This is for the guy or the automotive enthusiast, in my opinion, who kind of wants the higher end car without going as extreme as the Z06. The Z06 is its own vibe. Now, what would your buddy CJ do? Real talk. Let me give it to you straight. With the option of getting a fully loaded Stingray, the way I would want it, versus a Z06, the way I would want it, or an E-Ray, the way I would want it, my spec sitting on the lot today at MSRP, if you said, CJ, you got to pick one, I would probably lean toward, today I would probably lean more towards a Z06, real talk. I've negotiated on a couple of them. I've almost pulled the trigger on a couple of them. Hell, I may end up with a Z06 in the near future. Real talk. That's my problem. Who else has this problem? Leave me comments. Are there any other car guys or car girls out there who just can't say no to a car? Are y'all looking at cars every night like your buddy CJ? I look at cars day and night when I have free time. Priorities first. Business is business, family, and health first. Cars are right up there, though. I'm always thinking about cars, guys. I know you are too. But in all seriousness, I'd probably lean towards the Z06, but I guess it would depend on the spec. I might go with the E-Ray. Oh gosh. I do a lot of road trips. I enjoy driving my car, and I've got other horses in my stable, so to speak. I've got another car now. I've got some other stuff on order I'll talk about later that are more extreme cars, very extreme. I don't need another extreme car. So when I look at the Z06, as great as it is, like that's an extreme machine. When I go and do my 1,500, 2,500 mile road trip, 300 mile road trip, go to the mountains, whatever, is that going to be as comfortable? I've never done that many miles in a C8 Z06. If you have, please leave me comments. Let's talk about it. So then I might lean more towards the E-Ray. I love my Stingray, but I'm also kind of, looking for the what's next as always. There's also, when I think about what else is available right now at different price points, like you could get a really cool Mustang Dark Horse, but it's different. It's not a hybrid. Okay. I'm just talking about brand new, right? You could go up market and go McLaren Artura. Now you're talking about exotics, like real exotic supercars made by supercar companies. Don't get butthurt, Corvette guys. Sorry, Corvettes are not exotic and they're not supercars. I love Corvettes, okay, but they're just not. They're Chevrolets. Don't hate on my... you could think anything you want, but they're mass produced, just like the Mustangs and the Challengers. They're great cars, but they're not exotics and they're not supercars, in my opinion. Okay? So if you're going to step up, if you will, into exotic supercar country, an Artura is a big step up. And real talk, I would be more comfortable doing a road trip in a Corvette than a dang McLaren any day. Like a McLaren Artura is more exclusive, cooler, more exotic than any Corvette, right? Listen, this hobby is all about subjectivity. And that's my subjectivity. That's my opinion. And I enjoy Corvettes. I have one. And I'll probably own another one here in the near future. But all I'm saying is if you wanted to step up, an Artura would be an option. It is hybrid. It's twin turbo V6, whereas this has the V8. Okay, the only thing is you got McLaren issues. I've got a whole other episode dedicated towards all the challenges and the gremlins that come with McLaren ownership. So you're going to spend a hell of a lot more money for a car with about the same performance, but a very different driving experience. Driving the McLaren Artura will be a completely different driving experience. And ownership experience will be completely different. Don't get it twisted. Like anybody who tells you different has probably never owned both, and I have. I'm just real talk. I'm telling you like it is. It's just different. It's not better. Depending on what you're into, you might consider it better, but it is different. The Chevy, though, I would be more comfortable with driving 1,000 miles, driving 2,000 miles, going anywhere in the country in that Corvette, and I can get it worked on at any Chevy dealer. If you step up and you spend the extra $100,000 or $150,000 to get the McLaren Artura because you got to have the exotic supercar, well, where are you going to get it worked on if you're on a 2,000-mile road trip? You can find McLaren dealerships, but they're not as plentiful as the Chevrolet dealerships. So these are concerns. That's why I'm a proponent of road trip cars. Chevrolet Corvettes, C8s in particular, C7s I think are great road trip cars. C6s are good road trip cars. Okay? They're fantastic. But I'm just for comparison's sake, if you said, well, if I'm already spending 150, 160, 170, maybe I want to look at some real exotics and go check out an Artura. And by the way, looking at the McLaren Artura, you may come back and say, I would never buy that thing. Maybe you would. And if you've done it, leave me comments. I'd love to talk about it. E-Ray is here. This episode is about the E-Ray. Guys, those are a few things that I've observed about the E-Ray. This thing is cool, all right? Chevy E-Ray, the new creature coming out of the ocean. It's an E-Ray. It's not a Stingray. It's an E-Ray. Bzzz. It's electrified. Pretty cool. Guys, what do you think? Leave me comments. Please give me a like and subscribe. As you know, your buddy CJ is just a car guy like you. I love talking about cars. I love looking at cars. I love driving cars. And I love the respectful discourse. We talk about things together. So leave me comments. I'll respond to all the comments I can. I love you guys. I care about you. Give me a subscribe. Stay safe in these cold winter months. We got some extreme weather across the country. Be safe out there. If you're driving your Corvette, your Mustang, your Challenger, your Porsche, maybe keep it in the garage. Take the SUV. Don't hurt yourself, people. Got to have you back here on the episode for the next episode of Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. Guys, listen, we have so much fun around here. I'll see you on the next one. Leave me comments and have a good evening. Peace.